I wanted to talk about feminine influence. So, the girlies who get it, get it. And so I want to share this with you all because it's one of those things where the embodiment speaks for itself. And until you have those full experiences of embodiment, you don't necessarily realize how powerful your embodiment is to the environment that you're in and that surrounds you. So for those who've been following my journey these last few weeks or whatever, I have been going through it. Like literally I had hit rock bottom again, and so I've been trying to work and heal and get myself out of this slump that I had been in, and I did, thankfully. I had came across the best community of ladies on YouTube. Her name is Nia Dora. She has the Feminine Energy Academy, and I mean, I'm not gonna gatekeep, even though I would love to keep it to myself. I'm not gonna gatekeep because it changed my life, and I'm not someone who is new to inner work. So the fact that this came in and gave me the missing piece to everything that I had been trying to do for years, but really needed 6 months ago, I'm grateful, and I'll forever be grateful. I was able to rewire my whole nervous system in a way that garnered a lot of growth for myself. I've had my most potent transformations over these last few weeks, probably since early December. It's the end of January now, and I can say that feminine influence is real, and you only can see it if you're truly embodied in it. Unfortunately, it's nothing that you can fake. You really do have to do the work and be the embodiment of it, because performative femininity is nice and dandy, sure, but that exterior isn't what makes you bask in your divine femininity. And I learned this. I would like to think that I've always been overall feminine, but there have definitely been times where I have fallen into survival mode. Like, for example, me losing my job. I fell into such heavy survival mode. It was honestly crazy. But that was honestly some of the worstest, the toughest times that I had gone through and we had gone through because of my survival state that I was in. And the crazy part is that financially things are fine. To be quite honest, like I over budget and underpay myself, so there's always a cushion. Always a cushion. But for some reason I still fell very deep into survival mode. And it's interesting because as I changed for the worse, I won't say that my home life also changed for the worse, but it didn't feel like the safe space that it had once been. But I knew it was because I was operating in scarcity, in fear, in survival, whereas it wasn't even necessary, because like I said, I over budget and underpay myself. So the cushion is cushioning. But yeah, so I could just feel the change in the whole house. And so beyond my husband, like I could feel it with my children too. Like there has been so many times that you can just see the anxiety on the child, and it would just break my heart, because it's just like I would try not to blame myself, but at the same time I know it was because it was a reflection of me. And so because of that, it made my inner work far more important, because this ain't just about me, this is about my babies too. Like my husband, I mean, yeah, it's about him, but he grown. He can, the same way I need to handle my emotions, he too needs to handle his. Is how I felt at the time. But when it came to my babies, no, like I need to go ahead, buckle in and do what I gotta do, because they didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask for this human experience, at least not directly. You know how the stars work, if you know. But yeah, I just couldn't allow myself to just continue to fall. And I fell for a while. Like it seemed like a very long-winded fall. But I couldn't just let myself stay there, because my babies is watching. And like my babies is little. Like I got a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and one that just turned 5. So I don't want their first memories of me to be, that just being a ball of anxiety, a ball of fear, just instability or unstable, whatever the word is. Like I don't want their their relationship with the divine feminine to be a wonky one because mama couldn't get it together. That's not fair. That's not fair for them or for anybody else that has to deal with me. And it's one thing to be responding to experiences that you're facing, but it's a different thing to stay in those spaces. So unless it's a really good space that you're in, it's never good to just stay in a downward spiral, essentially. And I feel like that's what I was doing. I was just spiraling out of control. It was like I jumped out of an airplane. There was a hole in the parachute. That's kind of what it felt like, where I'm just flailing through the sky, just free falling. But I joined the Feminine Energy Academy. I did even more inner work. I found God, and I actually became the embodiment of the next version of myself. And so within that, I told this whole little story to let you know that there is growth in pain, but I want you to know the power of your influence as the divine feminine. And even when you're working in a place out of wounded feminine, your influence is still heavy. It's heavy on those around you. And so it goes for good. It goes for the times that feel really good, and it goes for the times that don't feel as good as well. So the influence that you have over your household is massive, and it's absolutely critical. It's absolutely critical that you allow yourself the space to do what you got to do, because some of us, we're mothers, we work, we got all this stuff on our plates, and so it's hard to carve out time for ourselves. But this is the way that I started to carve out time for myself. The ride home from work, this hour and some change is everything to me, and I love it so much, because when even before I was working, I would spark drive, and I would be like out in the country and meditating and doing my inner work while I was writing, and it was the most beautiful transformation I had experienced. And the best part of that is that me allowing myself that time, me giving myself that space to grow, to breathe, I was actually able to not just repair myself, I upgraded my marriage. And it's not like a one-sided upgrade. Like, it's not like I started being better, so he started being better. It was more so like I evolved into a higher version of myself. And because of that, my husband, like the way that polarity works, my husband met me there. So he became a better man for himself as well. So it's like I became a better me for me. He became a better him for him. But both of those qualities of improvement brought the marriage back together even better. So it's like, yeah, we went from bickering to mind blowing sex both just became better as individuals, and being better as individuals, it gave us the space to pour into our marriage and into our family even more. And so I can tell from the changes that I made that he's a better man. I can tell from the changes that he made and I made that made our children have better experiences, like behavior wise. Like, granted, we have really good kids, and we don't have like behavior issues, but at the same time, they've become happier, more expressive, more talkative children. And so it's like, wow, like even they have had their own upgrades from my inner work. I think it's a blessing that sometimes life will knock you around, but the growth that comes from it is worth it. It might not seem like it in the time. It might not seem like it in the time at all, because sometimes when you're going through it, it's just like, God, like, what is happening? Like, a lot of times it is like that. And you just have to hold steady, because time's going to continue. Keep doing the work. Don't switch up. Don't stop doing the work. Like, a lot of us get caught up in the pain being so painful that it's just like, oh, I just don't have it in me anymore, or I've given up. And it's like, no, baby, that's when you got to hank it down a little bit harder, because you're almost there. You're almost at that breakthrough. You are almost there. And so, yeah. Dang, my hair is looking crazy. It's crazy how much my hair sucks up moisture, because this thing is looking dry and brittle right now. Meanwhile, I was using blue magic in my hair. But I mean, it's cool. I really can't see it for real, no way, because of the way the sun is. So y'all may not even be able to see me for real either, to be quite honest. I can't tell. But yeah, the feminine influence is beautiful, because it's like, when I changed, everything changed. Everything changed. Everything changed. Like, my whole household flipped. It's like we all just entered a new dimension, and it's just like all those like the new versions of ourselves, we had a rebirth. And I'm just thankful that as a feminine being, a divine feminine being, that I have the influence that I do, because all of us have it. You know, energies they're not gender specific. So all of us have these energies in us. And so when I'm able to operate in my most, or in my strongest energy, because I feel like this is the one that I chose to operate in my flesh body when I was up in the stars. I'm thankful, because not only is the influence real, but it's like, as a woman, I don't know how these men don't seem to realize that, but we lead from the back. It's like, you can have the title of the leader, and I will be a submissive wife. I will follow your lead, as long as you, I mean, in my situation, I have that ability, because he has proven himself to be someone I can follow. Whereas my relationships in the past, then I was led right into a bando. Seriously, unfortunately, like, really, I was led right into a bando. And it's just like, you can't just trust every man to lead. But that's the good thing about being in your divine feminine, because you wouldn't even entertain somebody who is gonna sabotage or ruin your life. You're not gonna entertain somebody like that. But even in the event that, you know, maybe your divine masculine partner may be just going through life, because life does happen sometimes. And so the fact that I'm able to lead from the back is phenomenal. Like, it's like the pillars are so strong within our household, and I can trust that regardless of what happens in our lives, that, I mean, I know that he got us, but because of the way that the feminine really nurtures and just engulfs, I know I got us too. And so the fact that I'm able to rest in knowing that regardless, that I have that safety net, it allows me to build up the core safety net of the house, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but the way that I see it in my head is that, you know, our husbands lead, we have our male providers, all that good stuff. Why is traffic already trafficking? It's only 3:10. But yeah, being able to lead from behind is kind of like, well, it's like the trump card. Like, you can't lose. Feminine influence is real, and it's so funny because I can see it so heavily in my household, just in little ways where it's just like type of stuff, because it's like, it can be such simple things, and it's like life has a way of coming through and just showing you just how good it can get, as long as you let it. And that's the key, is letting it. So it all starts with you. It all starts with your own inner work. It all starts with how you feel about yourself. So feminine influence, it'll be your best friend. And the good thing about that, one of the a nice highlight of feminine influence is actually that you can be single with feminine influence, and that don't mean you out here doing the most, you know, look at me. We not talk about that. Like, the feminine influence, it speaks for itself. Like, do you know the way the world responds to me? Like, and I'm not saying that to brag, but it's like, literally, the world responds so wonderfully to me, and I love how, I mean, I just love the influence that I have, because it's like, I just get the mirror back. Like, people love to buy me things. Like, people love to gift me things. People love to do things for me. People really just it's just so nice. Like, people really go out of their way to help me, and this is men, women alike. Like, this isn't specific to like men or anything like that. Like, literally, kids, like, everybody likes to do things for me, and I'm not talking about my own kids. I'm talking about like out in the store, like kids will be like, oh, do you? It's like, oh, no, thank you. It's so cute, just the way that life likes to rendezvous when you are just on this level of embodiment. So let the world play with you, because it's trying to play back with it, and like literally just live your best, fun, juicy experience, because you can. It's your birthright. It really is. Like, all this beauty placed on this earth, are we not supposed to enjoy it? Psst, not over here. Like, I like it in abundance, please. More, please. More, please and thank you. So yeah, like, put it up on a platter and I will happily take it. I apologize if y'all can't see me. I apologize if my hair is looking chewed. It is what it is, because the thing is, I really don't care. I've stopped caring what people think about me, and it does wonders for your skin. Now I can just do wonders for my hair, right? You just gotta figure out how to make it work. But I'm trying to grow this stuff out. I usually don't wear it straight, as y'all see, but it's cold, so I figured this would be the time, though it is still sabotaging me. I had the cutest flexi rods in it this morning. It was so cute, but yeah, no, it didn't last. But yeah, it's cool though. I'm grateful. Just as a feminine being, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are in full control. Okay, I want you to remember that you have the power, honestly and truly. So comment down below, I am in control. And I want you to embody that. I want you to remember that. I want you to live by that. I am in control. Put it in the comments below so that I know you here with me. No woman left behind. Okay, no woman left behind. Leave that comment below, and let's all just continue to grow together, because I mean, like, time ain't gonna do nothing but keep on passing. So let's become the best versions of ourselves. Let's make this experience the best one it possibly can be, and let's just show up and show out the same way God does in our lives. Okay, so with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe,